was nice event, and today we are about to start the second set of batch. I hope this session will give you some kind of knowledge, insight, and kind of learning to all of you. At the outset, I want to thank you, and so we start the session. Let me share the presentation, then we'll go on to the presentation. Today we are going to discuss two topics. One is achievement motivation, and the second one being how to develop soft skill to the trainees or the entrepreneurs who are sitting with you. I'll share the presentation. One second, let me share. Okay, very good morning. The first topic being achievement motivation. Before getting into the crux or the subject of the entire concept, let us understand the term motivation. Everything is visible in the, I hope the screen is visible to you all. So first let us understand the term motivation in general. So that we can understand the concept of entrepreneurial motivation. I want to ask you a question. According to you, what is called as motivation? If anyone can answer, please you can unmute your mic, then you can answer my question. Anyone?
Encouraging.
Okay,
Motivation is a way of encouraging the person instead of getting
Okay, in
promoting their skills.
I can say like this. Motivation is some kind of process whereby he achieves the desired result. He might have something in the mind. So the motivation makes him to progress one step towards that. So that is motivation. Fantastic, sir. Thank you so much. I'll show you the definitions. The word motivation came from the Latin word mover, which means in English to motivate. So from that only we started using the word motive. Motive is sometimes it is called as intention. We may have something in our mind. We do some process to achieve that thing in the mind. So that is what is called as motive. It's a kind of inner state. மனசுக்குள்ள இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு விஷயம். That moves me, என்னை தள்ளும், or it activates me and directs me towards my goal. But normally we say motive is a kind of behavior. I can say motive is internal, but the outcome behaviorally we say the person is highly motivated or highly charged. So in simple term, I have given everything in the presentation. In simple term, I can say motive is something which gives a direction to human behavior so that he achieves the entire task and he tries to fulfill the need. As rightly pointed out, it's some kind of action happens within the mind. நம்ம மனசுக்குள்ள நடக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு விஷயம், அதுல இருந்து ஒரு டைரக்ஷன் கிடைக்கும், அது நம்மளை தூண்டிக்கிட்டே இருக்கும். It continuously activates so that we move towards achieving the set of goals. Okay. So I'll move on to the next one. As I told you, remember, motive is some kind of internal behavior, internal way, and it can be externalized via behavior. இதை தெளிவான ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொன்னோம்னா, I want to become a doctor. That is my goal. So motive is something which within my mind, which is doctor இப்படிதான், doctor does like this, communicates like this, doctor understands the human behavior of other people, psychologically he can achieve the person's intention. இது மாதிரி ஒரு thought process நம்ம மைண்ட்ல இருந்ததுன்னா, this thought process is called as motive, and it can be seen on the external. டாக்டரே ஆகல, அதுக்குள்ள டாக்டர் ஆகிற மாதிரி ஃபீல் பண்றோம். So same thing happens to IAS aspiring people. Before they become an IAS, their behavior seems to be like an IAS people. They இதை இன்னும் புரியும்படி சொன்னா, IAS ஆகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடியே they behave like an IAS people. ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம்னு வந்தா their way of approach differs from the other people. இந்த way of approach வந்து வெளியில externalize பண்ண முடியும். So இந்த externalized behavior தான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம்னா motivation. It's a kind of thing which makes us to move or to act. நம்மள ஒரு படி மேலே ஏற்றுறதும் ஒரு படி நம்மள ஆக்ட் பண்றதும் சொல்றாங்க. Okay, now we'll move on to the definition. A simple definition given by the Stephen Robbins. He says motivation is ஒண்ணும் இல்லைங்க, it's a willingness. It's a willingness to exert high level of effort. கிட்ட இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு ஆர்வம், அது என்னை அதிகப்படியான ஒரு முயற்சியை பண்ண வைக்குது. So that the organization towards where I am attached, அந்த ஆர்கனைசேஷனல் கோல்ஸுக்கு ஏற்ற மாதிரி என்னைய கண்டிஷன் பண்ணிட்டோம்னா, so that I can put all my effort, ability, and I can able to satisfy. இதுதான் மோட்டிவ். வில்லிங்னஸ் தான், வேற ஒண்ணுமே கிடையாது. வில்லிங்னஸ் அதிகமா இருந்தா, ஆர்வம் அதிகமா இருந்தா, நமக்கு அதுல காமிக்கக்கூடிய அந்த எஃபர்ட் ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தி இருக்கும். ஸோ என்னோட எஃபர்ட்டும் ஆர்கனைசேஷனல் எஃபர்ட்டும் ஒரு மீட்டிங் பாயிண்ட் வரும்போது I can able to satisfy all the individuals there present in the organization. So motive நம்ம ஆர்கனைசேஷனல் கோலுக்கு கொண்டு போய் ஜாயின் பண்றோம். இண்டிவிஜுவல் மோட்டிவேஷன், individual success. But individual motivation along with the effort and towards the organization goal அப்படி இருந்ததுன்னா, that entire organization gets benefited. So every employee needs to be motivated ங்கிற கான்செப்ட்ல அவர் டிஃபைன் பண்ணியிருக்காரு. இதுல கிளாரிட்டி வேணும்னா you can raise your hands, இல்லைன்னா I can continue. Okay. So now we'll go deep into it. We learned what is motivation, and we learned what is the motivational definition, and we learned motivation is internal, but it can be externalized via behavior. 3 பாயிண்ட் நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டோம். Now we'll go to the motivation process or the cycle. இதுல ஜெனரலைஸா என்ன பேசுறோம் அப்படின்னா, மோட்டிவேஷன் ப்ராசஸ் 3. ஒன்று மோட்டிவேஷன், மோட்டிவ், ரெண்டாவது கோல், மூணாவது பிஹேவியர். இந்த மைண்ட் பாடி சோல் ட்ரையாங்கிள் மாதிரி யார் ஒருவர் மோட்டிவேட்டடா இருக்காரோ அவருக்குள்ள என்ன இருக்கும்னா ஒரு மோட்டிவ் இருக்கும், அவருக்குள்ள ஒரு கோல் இலக்கு இருக்கும், அது ரெண்டும் வெளிப்பாடு பிஹேவியர் இருக்கும். இந்த 3 ட்ரையாங்கிளும் எப்போ ஒருத்தருக்கு கரெக்டா அமையுதோ then we call that person as a highly motivated person. இப்போ ஒரு பார்ட்டை நம்ம பிரிச்சு பார்க்கலாம். மோட்டிவ்னா என்ன? ஆல்மோஸ்ட் எல்லா ஹியூமன் பீயிங் மோட்டிவேட்டடா இருப்பாங்க. பட் எந்த விஷயத்துக்கு மோட்டிவா இருப்பாங்க, எந்த விஷயத்துக்கு மோட்டிவேஷன் தேவையில்லைங்கிற மாதிரி பாயிண்ட்ஸ் நான் கொடுத்துருக்கேன். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், எனக்கு முடி அதிகமாக வளர்ந்துட்டு ஐ வாண்ட் டு கட் மை ஹேர். டஸ் இட் ரிக்வயர் அ மோட்டிவேஷன்? நோ. ரைட். சம்டைம்ஸ் இந்த மோட்டிவ் எப்படி சொல்றோம்னா, இட் ப்ராம்ஸ் த பீப்புள் யூ ஹேவ் டு கோ ஃபார் அ ஹேர் கட், அதர்வைஸ் யூ லுக் பேட் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரியான ஒரு ஆக்ஷன் பாயிண்ட்டுக்கு கொண்டு போறது தான் மோட்டிவ்னு சொல்றோம். ஓகே. சம்டைம்ஸ் மோட்டிவ்ஸ் ப்ரொவைட் activating thrust towards reaching the இந்த பாயிண்ட் இருக்கிறதுனால உங்களுக்கு ஹைட் ஆகும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஒரு நிமிஷம். ஒரு இலக்கை நோக்கி ஒரு தூண்டக்கூடிய உந்து சக்தி தான் மோட்டிவ். ஆனா மோட்டிவ் எல்லா இடத்துலையும் தேவையில்லை. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், ஹேர் கட் பண்றதுக்கு ஒரு மோட்டிவேஷன் தேவையில்லை. பட் டு பிகம் அ IAS கலெக்டர் there should be a strong thrust and activating force. அந்த ஃபோர்ஸ்னால தான் அவங்க இலக்கை அடைய முடியும். Without motive, nothing is possible. Okay. In general, what they say, every human behavior is motivated. எல்லாருக்கும் மோட்டிவேஷன் இருக்கும். பட் அந்த மோட்டிவேஷன் எந்த அளவுக்கு comes to them, அதுதான் விஷயம். For example, simple thingsக்கு no motivation required. For some things, motivation is required for some time. But to become an IAS, to become a doctor, to become a Chief Justice of India, to become a President of India, to become a Prime Minister of India, we need high motivation, plus there should be some goal. இலக்கு இல்லாமல், மோட்டிவ் இல்லாமல் எதுவுமே செய்ய முடியாது. ரைட். அப்போ மோட்டிவ்ங்கிறத நம்ம ரெண்டு விதமா பிரிக்கிறோம். பிசியோலாஜிக்கல் அண்ட் சைக்கலாஜிக்கல் அப்படின்னு பிரிக்கலாம். சைக்கலாஜிக்கல் அப்படிங்கும்போது என்னோட மனம் சார்ந்த, என் இலக்கு சார்ந்த, திட்டம் சார்ந்தன்னு போயிடும். இதே நேரம் பிசியோலாஜிக்கல்னு கம்பேர் பண்ணும்போது இட் டாக்ஸ் அபவுட் பிசிக்ஸ் அலாங் வித் த அனாலிட்டிக்கல் எபிலிட்டி. ஒருவருடைய உடலும் அவருடைய அனாலிட்டிக்கல் திங்கிங் ப்ராசஸும் சேர்ந்ததை தான் நம்ம பிசியோலாஜிக்கல் இங்க சொல்றோம். சைக்கலாஜிக்கல் அப்படிங்கிறது மனம் சார்ந்தன்னு சொல்றோம். When there is an imbalance between physiological and psychological, goal attain பண்றது கஷ்டம். But if both are perfect, we can achieve the goal. இதுதான் இதுல கொடுத்திருக்க, அந்த ஸ்லைட்ல கொடுத்திருக்கிறதுடைய எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன். Motives direct us towards goal. Okay. கோல்னு எடுக்கும்போது ஆல்ரெடி we should have a pre-planned. நீங்க எல்லாரும் கோல் செட்டிங் பண்ணியிருப்பீங்க. இலக்கு இல்லாத பயணம் முடிவில்லாத பயணமாக போயிடும். ஓகே. when I say goal, there will be some kind of destination. ஒரு இலக்கு இருக்கும். அந்த இலக்கு போகணும்னா we need to have a smart goal. The goal should be specific and the goal should be achievable. அடையக்கூடியதாக இருக்கணும். and the goal should be realistic. யதார்த்தத்துக்கு உண்மையானதாக இருக்கணும். and the goal should be reliable, நம்பகத்தன்மையோட இருக்கக்கூடிய, and the goal should be time bounded. இது 5 விஷயங்களையும் உள்ளடக்கினது தான் இலக்கு, கோல்னு சொல்றோம். ஓகே. இங்க மோட்டிவ் இலக்கை நோக்கி நம்மளை உந்து பண்ணும், ட்ரஸ்ட் பண்ணும், உந்து சக்தியை கொடுக்கும். பட் சம்டைம்ஸ் நம்மளுடைய சைக்கலாஜிக்கல் இம்பேலன்ஸும் physiological imbalance அந்த இலக்கை அடைய விடாம பண்ணிடும். So what we have to do is we have to compensate and balance both so that we can able to achieve the motivation அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. இங்க ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுத்துருக்கோம். எனக்கு உணவும் தண்ணீரும் மட்டும்தான் தேவை அப்படின்னும் போது நான் அதை மட்டும்தான் தேடுவேன். பட் எனக்கு என்னோட ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், என்னோட கம்பேனியன்ஸ் அவங்க எனக்கு தேவைன்னு போகும்போது ஐ ஒர்க் ஆன் மை பர்சனாலிட்டி. பர்சனாலிட்டின்னு சொல்லும்போது இந்த 2 பாயிண்ட் வந்துருது. பிசியோலாஜி.
Sir, sorry for the interruption, sir.
சொல்லுங்க மேடம்.
So the participants from other state also, sir.
Okay, I'll go with English. Okay, I
Okay,
thought last time they told me to.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
I'll continue. Okay, since other state participants are there, let me go everything by English and I'll give examples by English. Right. Now I am discussing about motivation cycle or the process. When I speak cycle, it involves 3 things. One is the motive, internal, can be looked upon as an external behavior. Second one is the goal, where we have something as the point of achievement. And third thing, we have behavior. Now I am discussing about second thing. What I'm trying to say is motive. The first one we saw, the motive, the motive which gives a thrust, and makes me travel towards the goal. Okay. Now, when I say motive, there are 2 things we need to understand. A psychological. What is that? Is nothing but the thinking process. The mind. What I am thinking in my mind. So, when I talk about physiological process, it talks about the human body. So when there is an imbalance between mind and the body, then I can able to attain the goal and I can able to restore both the imbalanced nature. If both comes into tandem, then I am there on my second step. For example, when a person's goal is to get only water and food, he will just look for it. He won't think about other things. When a person is looking for a kind of friendship, a rapport building, a companionship, maybe it could be a business partner, a life partner, whatever it is. So if he is more concerned about his personality and looking for friends and companions, he will be looking and for traveling towards the personality development. So this is what which internally thrust us. Now, behavior is series of activities to be undertaken. If I want to achieve a kind of goal, now I need to work on my motive. I need to work on my strong, ambitious goal. Now I need to have a change in my behavior. To have a change in the behavior, we need to develop certain activities, development of skills, so that my behavior, a kind of behavior change, will complete me altogether for a motivation circle. I will show you the figure. Right. What I am trying to say is a person having motive, goal, and the behavior outcome will have a process so that there won't be any tension at all. He will just casually move move step by step and achieve towards it. Is it visible? The screen is visible to you all? Okay. Now I am coming to the core topic we are supposed to discuss today. We talk about achievement motivation. When I say achievement motivation, we talk about the entrepreneurial motivation. Entrepreneurial motivation. It is a process that activates and motivates the entrepreneur or the trainee or the students you are teaching them. The process that activates and motivates them to maximize their effort so that they achieve their entrepreneurial goals. Entrepreneur, you might be aware of it. A person who performs a business as an individual or as a partnership or with some kind of XYZ, they are called as entrepreneurs. A self-reliant person responsible for the growth of the business, sometimes responsible for the loss also. He is the owner, he is the proprietor, he takes everything. Now, this particular session has been given to me to give a kind of topic, achievement motivation for entrepreneurs. No, I'm taking from motivation to entrepreneurial motivation. Is it okay for you? Right. We'll move. In other words, this talks about the internal force drives within the entrepreneur, which affects the direction where he is traveling, or the intensity, we say aggressive, passive, the way he moves towards the goal, and it talks about the persistence of his voluntary behavior. When I say persistence, taking both negative and the positive as equal, and whenever there is a negative, making up a mind so that he moves towards the positive. Whenever he is positive, he learns from the negative. So this is entire thing is what is called as entrepreneurial motivation. The force that drives the person so that it affects the directional movement where he wants to go, which affects the intensity, both slow phase, fast phase, whatever it is, and it affects the persistence behavior, so that everything is put together is called as motivation, entrepreneurial motivation. Right. Now we'll discuss about the nature of motivation. When I say nature of motivation, it talks about motivation is internal to man. So I want to give you some kind of example. 1 second. I just want to stop sharing. Am I visible? You can raise your hands. One second. I have everything. But just give me a minute. Am I visible to you all? You can raise your hands.
Sir, visible and audible, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Sir, slide கேக்குறீங்களா இல்ல உங்க face
Because
sir?
I wanted to check it. Here, when I see my face, I am just. Yeah, face தெரியுதா madam?
தெரியுது sir, தெரியுது sir.
Am I visible?
Yes sir. Visible sir.
கொஞ்சம் நெட்வொர்க் கொஞ்சம் ஸ்லோவா இருக்கு, அதனால கேட்டேன். Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. It's a little bit slow.
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir.
Just a moment, please. I'm just opening. But I'm looking at the systems. Is it available?
Yes, sir, it's audible, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I was just opening my document. It is very slow. That's the only reason.
Rahul? The count mata Anjanusha Rahul.
I've kept everything ready. This document is opening very slow. Okay, we'll continue. Now we'll discuss about what is the nature of motivation. I said motivation is internal to man. Everyone has it. Simple. You have to understand. So now you need to just trickle them when it is required. Wherever you just need to trickle them. Make a fire so that let it glow. Second point, when I talk about I'll show you the slide. Just a moment. Okay. Second point, what I am going to discuss is a single motive can cause different behaviors. A person may have a single motive, but to get that motive, either he can go on the right way or he can go on the wrong way. But the ultimate aim of that particular person is to achieve that what is what he considers that as a motivation. Now, to achieve that motive, here I say motive in the sense the destination, what he wants to achieve. Sometimes maybe I can say a person's motive is to get past in his graduation. Now, this guy is very weak in memory power. Even though he studies for more time, he could not replicate what he has studied in the paper. You know the result, the marks will be very, very low. Now, he comes with an idea. My motive is to get a graduation. So, with that motive, he comes with a negative idea, having a kind of copying practice, a big kind of paper. Now, I cannot say this guy is not a motivated person. He is a motivated person, but the behavior what he is showing is not accepted by the legal system. I cannot say the motive is wrong, but the outcome behavior is wrong. So you need to understand a single motive can cause different behavior. If the behavior is positive, he goes on the right track, a legal track. Now, as a trainer or a teacher, you need to identify his behavior. Is it aggressive, going on a right path? Is it passive, passive, going on the right path slowly? Is it subtle? He never discloses it, but trying to achieve the motive. I'm talking about three different patterns. One is aggressive, going on the right track. Second one is passive, moving slowly on the right track. The third one is subtle. He has a motive, but you cannot identify on which track he is trying to go. So you need to, as a trainer, you need to identify. And third thing is, different motives may result in single behavior. The best example is, there is a village. Everybody wants to build a library. But another person says, why do you want to build a library? Let us use this available space, wasting money. Sometimes another person says, reading is like bringing library is a good habit. Why do you want to do this? Let us allocate one particular room in the school and make it as a library. Different motives, but everybody's behavior comes into one point, that is making a library. One says, I want to build a new place. One says, why do you want to build a new place? Let us do it on the existing place. One guy says, why do you want to allocate some other location? Let us do it in the college. Let us do it in the school. But motives are different. But the resultant behavior is building a library. So you need to understand these two things. Single motive can cause different behavior. Second point is, different motive result in a single behavior. There will be team of 10 people having 10 different motives, but they all exemplarily show one behavior. For example, best example is team sports. They may have individual motive that I have to be a man of the match. But they work for the team. Finally, the team gets the result. Now you need to understand that and cultivate this, because I'm going to relate this in the case study which I'm going to discuss in another 10-15 minutes time. Right. Another point is, the motivation comes and goes. Meaning is, there might be people, they have motivation for quite some time. For example, I want to see the movie. I'm very passionate about that particular actor. That motivates me to go to the film. So after 3 years, what happens? That motive goes off. That motive dies off. So that is what I'm trying to mean. Next point, what we are discussing. So 4 points so far I have discussed. The next point we have to discuss is, I think your system is just for 30 seconds. Okay, there's a hand. So far I have been discussing about nature of motivation. In this I discussed some 4 points. Now we will be discussing about the 5th point. The point is, normally the motives interact with the environment. Here the meaning what I'm trying to say is, I talked about three things: goals and behaviors. Now I'm getting deep into motives. So when I am discussing about the nature of motive, I said motive is internal for men, and I said single motive will cause different behaviors. Then I told you different motives result in one behavior. Then I told you motives come and go. Now, fifth uh, point what I am discussing is the motives interact with the environment. Here, when I say environment, I talk about nature as well as a human being. So, two individuals having the same motive will interact towards each other, or they are inclined towards each other, so that it becomes a single motive. The best example is husband and wife. They do have an individual motivation, but when they interact and find out the common motivation, they work towards single point. Likewise, individual motive and organizational motive, if they work in tandem and they come into one meeting point, motivation will inch us, pushes us, or helps us to achieve that. So you have to understand motivation is bidirectional. Sometimes it goes on a positive note, sometimes it goes on a negative note. When it goes on the negative note, you may have a question. Bring that motive back. Now you need to develop, or you need to focus only on the intent. When I say intent, I am here talking about purpose. Hey, what is the purpose? You have some other purpose, but you are serving reverse direction. Now you need to bring that person focus into the intent. This is what is all. Okay, let's talk important. If a person is highly motivated, what is the importance? What is the benefit? Or what is the justification we are going to show you? Right. Now I am going to talk about in terms of three times. One is you need to understand every organization is run by people. So hence, the person who is in that organization has to show his mission and goal, the outcome of behavior. So every organization is run by people. So this person has to show it in terms of behavior. That behavior is, I am ready to work for me, I am ready to work for mission. The two things get in success. As rightly pointed out in the years hours, some 20 minutes back, I had asked a question: what is motivation? The sir gave me an answer. Something that makes the employee more productive, or you can say more conscious. Think about in terms of productivity and quality, and they are more conscious towards the organizational goal. Now the motivation becomes organizational motivation. Since it is run by an individual, I can say entrepreneurial motivation. So is it all about motivation? Right. Second importance is motivation as a concept affects the organization. If a person is motivated, the organization goes towards the purpose. If the motivation of a person is more, the organization moves towards the purpose. Maybe a successful kind of top one company in the country, top one company in the state. Now, here the motivation of an individual or individual people tends how they behave. Now, I'm coming to the behavioral part. Motivation is a concept that affects individual. Now, when he is working in an organization or entrepreneurship, this behavior tries to take it to the positive side of the company, that is growth part, or the motivation may try to take the company to the negative part. Now, this individual behavior comes into picture. That is why motivation is very, very important. Right. Third point is, when I speak about organizational effectiveness, here comes the question. If the management is able to motivate its employee, or if the organization can appreciate the motivation of the employee, now the organization comes into limelight. If every employee is motivated and the management is ready to appreciate everyone, and the management helps to motivate every people, Now you can wonder about the organizational benefit. Another one. Now many organizations use machines, a complex technology. Now you can think about a human being as if he is a driver trying to drive the machinery. If the human being is inefficient or not motivated or do not know how to operate them, then the company becomes afraid. Now, therefore, the organization needs to have employees with the capability, and they have to buy the willingness. Now, when I say capability, I am referring to the quality and the educational knowledge of the employee. Second part, I am talking about willingness, the mind or the motive to learn the complex technology, so that I can able to achieve the organizational goal. So far I have been discussing 3 points. One is the organizations are run by people. So if a motivated employee joins the organization, the company becomes more productive and they can focus on quality conscious rather than other things. This is point number 1. Number 2, I was discussing about it enables, the motivation enables people to contribute. Otherwise, the organization has to come into picture and they have to study what kind of people they are behaving like this. Why are they behaving like this? Because motivation affects many factors. So we need to keep a key or an eye on the importance of motivation. The third point, what I am talking is, or trying to say is, to become an organization become effective, so we need to appreciate the people, or I can say appreciation of motivation. If the employee is highly motivated, you need to appreciate it. Super boss, very good, fantastic. Now then you need to identify the people who are not motivated, and you have to educate them, give a kind of training so that they also become motivated. Fourth point I was discussing is, now we use complex technology, and these complex technologies are driven by human being. If the person has the capability, the quality or the knowledge, I'm talking about the knowledge. The person having the capability, the knowledge, the required knowledge, and second thing is the willingness to use it. We human beings are highly resistant to change. Whenever a new complex technology is being introduced, people lose motivation, and that motivation drains. They say, why this company is bringing a new technology? I'm so comfortable with the existing one. So they never accept it on the first time. Therefore, the organizations need to have a training on how to use it, the knowledge part. Second part, they have to create a program so that every employee willingnessly accepts the new technology, so that the organizational goal is 100% achieved. Because motivation is individual, but the behavior is the outcome. If a person is highly motivated, the outcome behavior is good for the organization. If the person is motivated on the negative side, you need to bring them back towards the positive motivation. Right. Fifth and the last importance of motivation is, now we are into 2023. It is the world of future, a complex millennium in future, where the government, both the state government and the central government, are paying more importance towards startup companies. Now you would have been known to India is number 3 in terms of startup, and we will become number 2 in terms of more startup in the near future. Now here comes the problem. Here I am talking about the talent bank from the people. We have plenty of people, human resources, but the problem is identifying the person with the right talent becomes a problem. To identify the talent people, you need to understand the motivation, whether the guy is motivated, or I can say whether the guy is having a self-awareness, because motivation is a part of self-awareness. Or I can say, who am I? When I say who am I, I'm talking about my strength, I'm talking about my weakness. Human being is a combination of strength and weakness. If I know how to identify the strength of the person, now I am rightly into the point that I can able to get the talented people into my organization. Because in this complex millennium, we need people having high motivation, having high level of willingness, a ready to learn attitude, and a people who can readily shift, adaptability. So if the person is highly motivated, I can just push him to this top so that he becomes my best talent bank. Any organization who is having the talent employees will grow towards success. Right? If any questions you can ask me. So if I put it together in a wholesome or a substance, I can say if the management, if we compare the management with the driving, like say for example, if the management is considered driver,
नहीं
इस बार YMD में दे दिया
या नहीं नहीं
I think
Hello.
there is some question.
Okay, sir.
You can ask one by one. Yes. What is the question? I think is there a question? Is there a question for you? I think I'm visible. I'm able. If the machine, you can. Sometimes I'll show you the PPT. Sometimes I'll be discussing in person. If anyone wants to ask questions, you can raise a hand. Niranjani madam, can I go ahead?
Please, sir. Please proceed, sir.
Thank you, madam. Okay. If I want to put it on the wholesome, I mean, to just tell you the recap of what we have done. If we compare the management with the driving, a driver kind of thing, and an organization as a vehicle, the moving vehicle, then this motivation becomes the fuel that keeps the vehicle continuously moving. So when you train the people for achievement motivation in entrepreneurial situation, you need to make them understand what is the importance of motivation, or you have to make them understand what is motivation, what is the nature of motivation, and what is the importance of motivation and how it is going to benefit them when they are going to be into the organization. And you have to tell them, if the motivation is on the positive side, just appreciate them. If the motivation is on the negative side, now you find out the intent, then you try to shift the focus. Very simple. You cannot change any human behavior. But one possible thing you can do is, you can try to just make a focus. Then the person becomes highly motivated, and this guy will be highly individual success, and also he will work towards the organizational goal, so that both the people, both organization and the individual move towards the success ladder, and finally they can achieve the goal. Is it clear to you all? I've taken first half of it. If you need a break, I can give you 2 minutes break. You can drink some water, something like that. I'll start at 10:25 with the next part of the achievement motivation. If anything is there, please, you can put it in the chat box also. There is nothing wrong. I think I can give you 3 minutes break. Anything? Anyone? Can I go ahead, or should I give 2 minutes break? I'll put it in text box. There is no question. We will continue at 10:25. 2 minutes. Small bio break, kind of bio break. Welcome back. I've started sharing the screen. Is it visible to you all?
Sir, visible, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Right. The starting from 9:30, we have been discussing about what is motivation. Very simple. Then we were talking about the nature, the process. Then we talked about nature and also the importance. Why we are discussing this very much? The point is, if a person is highly motivated, he may go towards the success. Point number one. Point number two is, without motivation, the success is not possible. Reverse. So based on this, there was a person called McClelland. David McClelland. He is a PhD professional, a behavioral scientist from US. He did an experiment, is popularly known as Kakinada experiment. This entire thing is available in the internet. Once the program is over, I request all of you to go to internet, download this PDF, and you can make a. It will be around 10 to 15 minutes reading time. Yeah, worth reading, honestly. Here he has spoken about how the motivation helped the people to achieve better. The screen is visible, it is self-explanatory. I just wanted to share something. What he says is, if a person is highly motivated, or he goes on the reverse side. He says, achievement depends on how badly one wants to achieve. If I want to achieve that, now when I say achieve, here I can talk about the time bound. For example, I am starting a startup today and I want to become the number one position in my domain. For example, I am starting a startup where I am developing drones using artificial intelligence. Now, the core idea is correct. A drone company using artificial intelligence. If the person has the urge, I want to become number one within 6 months because my competitors are also ready. They have a talent bank. They do have motivated employees. But the achievement depends upon the urge. Whenever I say urge, here I am talking about a time. Let us say I want to do it within a month. Tell me, will the person sleep? Will he go for entertainment? No, because when the need is very, very urgent, he will bypass his entertainment timing. He will bypass his, even sometimes scientists, they don't go for lunch. They don't go for food. They are continuously engaged. So now you need to identify what is that he wants to achieve. Then he wants to achieve. How he wants to achieve. Then that entrepreneur will become highly successful. Right? Right. Now what you have to do is, you have to activate the inner spirit. Whenever we speak spiritual, we say spirit within us. Now I'm talking about general, so I'm not relating to that. The inner fire will activate every individual so that they will go towards success. Or, in simple terms, it is given below. The desire. If I have the desire to do it, and if I have the urgency to do it first, then my motivation helps me to achieve. Very simple. Otherwise, my motivation will remain dormant. It will not come out. So I cannot achieve anything. So people with motivation do not achieve and they do achieve. There are two things you need to understand. By doing this Kakinada project, Dr. David McClelland can able to find out so many things. Now I want to discuss with you so that you can develop these skills into your trainees or the entrepreneurs so that they can become highly successful in the competitive world. That's the idea behind this. Right. He did an study and he could find some hypothesis between the success and the motivation. So what he had done is, the hypothesis says a person who is highly motivated is highly achievable, achievement oriented person. I cannot put on words. Now I need to have a concrete data so that I have to tell the world, sir, if a person is motivated, this many person, motivated person, I took a training, and out of this many people achieve. When there is a data, then it is reliable. Otherwise, it becomes a word of mouth. So what happened is, here comes the question. You talk about development, achievement, motivation, how to develop it. Is there any process? Yes, there are some scientific tools that has been incorporated in this Kakinada experiment, and based on that result, achievement motivation is being developed. You can, as a trainer or a teacher, you can use this particular experiment, explain to your trainees, and you can find out the result. The results are so good, amazing. Right? We'll go on to that. He's a behavioral scientist, so he did some behavioral method, so that the methods were taught to the entrepreneurs first. Then they were given some time. They were asked to practice it. Whenever they were lagging behind that motivation, he visited them individually, personally, and he gave a corrective measures. Then overall, after 2 years, he measured their success. Then he came out with the experiment, a structured experiment whereby the individual performance can be measured. Right. He took three different country people, Malawi, that is, you all know what is that, Indian people, and one particular place in Ecuador. In India, he did this experiment in Kakinada, which is currently in Andhra Pradesh. Right. First, what he did is he gave a training. The training lasted for 2 weeks. After the training, the entrepreneurs were let to go. They did their job, and the result was finally taken out, and the result was published. Right, now we'll see the description. Here, these things I've told you. The main objective is to break the barrier of limited aspirations by inducing achievement motivation. That is the core topic. Even though I have a motivation, I do have some kind of challenges. They called as barriers. So he gave a training on how to break the barrier so that their achievement is, I can say, their level of achievement has been raised. And totally 52 people were selected, and they were given orientation program at Small Industry Extension Training Unit, SIET. Now it is called as NIE-SIET, and it is in Hyderabad. The training center is located in Hyderabad, but the experiment was taken place in Kakinada, a small town, and it was conducted by David McClelland behavioral psychologist in the year 1964. Right. Out of this 52%, he could able to motivate them so that they can able to achieve their success within 2 years. Now we'll see one by one. Right. This 52 people were put into 3 batches and they were put into training for 3 months, a classroom training for 2 weeks, and on-site training for the remaining days. So that after the training, or the training was designed in such a way that they can improve their imagination and they can explore the possible ways. If a person is having enough imagination, or we can say multiple ways of improving the business, they came out with an idea. Then with each individual ideas, they were able to do an introspection, whether this will go on work, this will work, or this will not work. For example, I can say something which is common in any kind of cloth store. They have something called as try and buy. What is the concept? They can choose the color, they can choose the model, they can choose their size. So are they comfortable with this? No. So they are given a chance that they can go to the trial room, just wear it, use it, then they can able to identify whether that suits them. Here what they did is, they were given training on how to improve their imagination. Then for each imagination, they were asked to do an introspection. Will it work? Okay, if it works, how much time it will take? How much cost it will take? Is it feasible? Will this system can be false proof? Or will this system give me a profit? Will this system can be used in even 2050, 150 years? Because this program took in the year 1964. They took a decision whether the program will go for 100 years, 200 years. So they were asked to improve their imagination by giving training, and they were enabled to do introspection of their motivation. Right. The syllabus, what they have included this, the individuals are strive to attain some concrete and regular feedback. So what happens is, even in our soft skill session also, we'll talk about the feedback. The reason is, whenever there is a regular feedback and they can work on that feedback, they can strive to attain some concrete result. So feedback is the number one item which is included in the syllabus. Second thing is, everyone was asked to design a model. That model was fabricated so that they achieve success. Third thing is, they were thought of success, and they did a reverse work. So through by the thought of success, they were accordingly set plans and goals. Instead of setting a goal first and working on the plan, here they incorporated the reverse work analysis. Even you do SWOT analysis in your training programs. Instead of doing SWOT, you can do TWOS analysis. TWOS. Instead of strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, you can go reverse. What is the threat and what is the opportunity? What is the weakness, and that is going to be my strength. So reversely they did. They were asked to think about success and what success they want, and accordingly their plan was design. Then the goal was redefined. I want to say redefined because everyone had a goal, but is it correct? Then this goal is being redefined. Then the fourth point, which is included in the system as syllabuses, they were encouraged to think and they were asked to talk to themselves. We call it as self-talk. Even it happens in the day-to-day life. Most of the motivational speakers, they say, whenever you get up, just say, I am strong, I am capable, I can do it, I will win. So when they inculcate this kind of self-talk in a positive manner, one day they become highly successful. Now, we need to change our mind so that the mind has to believe, okay, I am the winner. I can able to win. I am ready for any challenge, whatever might be. So we are programming the mind. So these four things were taught to them. Then, based on this, the training was conducted. The impact is observed after 2 years. The result showed the impact was quite encouraging. People were more highly motivated than the people who attended the program. Only selected 52 people were asked to come, but simultaneously other people were also measured. So we can able to compare the performance of those who are attending training and those who are not attending training. The observation was quite encouraging. Those who attended the training were performing well, right? Okay. Now, the participants were assessed using thematic appreciation test. Now, I am not taking you in depth of this thematic appreciation test because it's a kind of 3-4 hours training. Within the short duration, it is not possible for me uh, to go take you through. But I can give you some a small idea about what is thematic appreciation test. Here, everyone was asked to dream, and they were asked to display the related pictures, and they were asked to identify as if they are in the picture. Now, these pictures were interpreted asked to I can say like this. The trainees were asked to interpret these pictures and they were asked to tell what is happening in the picture. Simple, sir. Very simple. They took some picture in the internet. They displayed them to the trainees and they were asked to dream about the picture. And they were asked to give some kind of inference. What did they learn from the picture? What is that it is teaching to them? On seeing the pictures, what is their thought process? And they were able to rate what is happening in the picture. Once this is done, now these pictures have become the result of what is expected. I can tell you a story. You all know an actor called Jim Carrey, who acted in the film called The Mask, which was no Oscar nominated, and this actor was an Oscar winner. Before acting into the film, and before the film made a massive impact, this Jim Carrey was interviewed by the famous talk show lady, Oprah Winfrey, 13 years before the movie. In that interview, Mr. Jim Carrey, he said, I am highly motivated. I visualized what I want to be. Even I have visualized what is going to be the first check, my paycheck. And he took his own personal check and he wrote 1 million. He did a photocopy, he enlarged it, he pasted in a place where he is frequently looking at. Now, this visualized picture took him to the place. He acted in the film. The director gave him 1 million check. The dream has come. That is what here they did. They took the picture and they displayed it to the trainees, and they were asked to interpret the picture, or they were asked to visualize what is there in the picture, and they were able to get some facts from that, and the goal is redefined. Now, this experiment can be done from a very young age, because the reason is when the people are young, they are so creative, say they are energetic, and we can tame their mind. That's why freshers are being offered a job in many companies. You might be aware of it. Now, based on the experiment, this curriculum is also, they are trying to bring in the high school so that the students become highly motivated. Am I visible, madam? Hello. Am I visible?
Sir, not visible, sir.
But the slide is visible, na?
Slide is also not visible, sir.
Now I have stopped it. I'll just try it. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir, visible, sir.
Okay, thank you. So this experiment is being developed at a young age so that they become the best entrepreneurs, whereby they can taste the level of success. And this effort, this experiment effort is being, no, they are bringing into high school level. So far it has not come, but there are efforts going on so that this becomes one of the topic in terms of self-development. Right. So here I am talking about the need for achievement. I am motivated, I am goal oriented, and I can explicitly show it in terms of behavior, but I'm not reaching the success. So where there is a gap, I need somebody to give me a training so that they tame my mind, they program my mind. Something is coming. One second. I need to change my internet connection. Just be with me for 15 seconds. Hello. Madam, is it visible, madam, the screen?
Screen is visible, sir, but PPT is not visible. Your face is also not visible.
Okay, I've just switched off my camera. I want to show the PPT. 1 second. Now is it visible?
Not yet, sir. Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
Okay, thank you. I just changed my internet. Sorry. Okay, we'll go on with that. This experiment, behavioral experiment, has proved that achievement motivation can be developed. Previously, they thought motivation is for just 3 points. One is money, sometimes a role model, a man, sometimes a rewards. These 3 things only can bring motivation. That's the idea previously they had. Now, with the behavioral experiments conducted in Kakinada, it is undoubtedly proved that motivation also can be developed. And based on this, Assam started this experiment in the name of EMTC, Entrepreneurial Motivation Training Center, in 1703 itself. Now, most of the Assam youth who are undergoing this kind of training, they were able to outperform and they were ready to bridge the gap between the present complex requirement and the knowledge they received from the normal graduation. So this is the program which bridges the gap of the reality and the present. Right. This concept has been now redefined, and you might have heard about this EDP. This program is now run by central government, the government of India, and it is slowly coming out. And from this only, they segregated into many different types. One is called National Skill Council of India. There, they are giving skill to each and every particular segment. If I want to go for agriculture, there is a skill development program. If I want to become a carpenter, there is a skill development program. If I want to become a computer literate, there is a program. If I want to become a fashion designer, there is a skill program. So what happened is, based on this Kakinada Dr. David McClelland experiment, the government has adopted a solution whereby every skill is being trained. So along with that, we develop some kind of achievement motivation among the youngsters so that they can be future ready entrepreneurs. Right? Okay. So there are 3 stages in this particular program. One is know yourself. Second step is knowing the destination. Third one is empowering. The empowering has to come second, but why we have given like this is, once you know yourself and you know the destination, now you can try to empower at any challenge. Whenever there is a challenge or a kind of struggle, you need to know how to empower and come out of that. So these 3 stages. The first stage is, you should understand your personal attributes and quality. Then here you can do the SWOT analysis for each individual. Let them identify their strength and weakness. Then as a trainer, you need to give a suitable example so that they can bring their best out of it. When I say strength, it is a unique quality. Strength is a unique quality. You need to give a best example so that they can bring their possible unique skill as the strength. Then you have to tell them to write about their weakness. Of course, they will not write, but you need to make them what is stopping them from achieving. What is stopping them from other people? Or I can say, what is the challenge they are facing in achieving? When you give exemplified examples, they will write it. Then you need to probe into individual personality. What they have written as strength, is it right? What they have written as weakness, is it right? Now you need to probe. Probing is nothing but asking many questions. A set of questions which gives us an answer. Then after this, you need to make them do the self-assessment, so that this self-assessment is being supplemented by comments of other people, that is other trainees, so that, see, I may not know, I think it is my weakness, but somebody might think that is my strength. So when I am not aware of my individual strength and weakness, you can ask them to do self-assessment by supplementing or complementing the observations by other trainees, so that the trainee becomes the real self. I am this, my outcome is this. Then we need to have a real comparison of ideal with the real self. So ideal is the position what is required. The real self is something where present. Now you need to bring it to the equilibrium. Otherwise, it becomes a disequilibrium and he cannot become the real self. The ideal is what is expected. Please understand, I'm going a little slow. The ideal is what is required and the real self is the present. There is a gap. To remove the real self or to make understand the real self so that it matches with the ideal is called equilibrium. Now you need to help the trainees to bring out this disequilibrium. Then only they can compete with the real world situation. Sometimes you need to reduce the discrepancy, or sometimes you need to eliminate the same. For example, if the guy says, I am not able to manage the time effectively, that is my weakness. Now you need to skill them, then you need to make him eliminate the same or reduce the wastage of time so that he becomes a effective time management guy. So thus we create a process of change so that they becomes highly successful and motivated entrepreneurs. The second one is they should know their destination stage. Here the destination is after this program, what is the effort I have given, the input, and what is the level of practice the trainee has taken, so that his attitude is changed, or I can say there is a modification in the behavior so that he can cope up in the real situation. So this is what is the destination stage, because I am going to train them only on behavior, not on something else. So whenever the input is given to change, now we need to monitor post-assessment. We need to monitor the effect, level of effort they have put in, the level of practice they have made, and the result comes here. What is the change in their attitude, or what is the behavior previously and what is the behavior after modification? Now, in between, the feedback has to be applied, and I say religiously because we give importance to religion. So our religious belief is okay. So when you give that same importance for the religious belief to this particular behavioral change, then you can have a comparison. What went wrong and what is the exact expectation. Now putting in again and again lot of efforts, and putting in more practice, then you become highly achievement motivated. So third stage is empowering. So in between the present and the destination. So you need to give them confidence. You need to let them think on their own. Let them practice that. Let them bring out many challenges. Now you need to give them inputs on how to handle the challenge, and there might be some new qualities they bring in, some traits they bring in. So now you need to experiment all these things as a trainer. Then you need to give them back what is expected, and you need to make them a whole. Otherwise, it becomes a problem. In summary, uh, this EMT process can be represented as I have shown this. Wait, sorry, I forgot to place that diagram. The EMT process can be diagrammatically viewed as three stages. First stage is knowing stage, second is destination stage, and third is empowering stage. In all these three things, as a trainer, you are supposed to handhold them because you are doing a behavioral change. So it is not so easy. As I told you earlier, it is both a mixture of physiological and psychological. So you need to take ownership of this and do that. If it is being done effectively, we can see the highest level of achievement motivation in any entrepreneur. This can be done by using various games and methodologies and exercise. One is you can put them into micro lab where the trainees can familiarize themselves. They can um, have a understanding, and they can understand the expectations of the program. See, at the beginning of this program, you need to set an expectation. Then take them to the lab, help the trainees to familiarize themselves, each one of them, so that they build a huge organization. Then you can do this exercise, thematic appreciation test. This test helps them to internalize and the associate network of achievement motivation. Here, if they internalize the concept and they are ready to associate with the other people who are into this network, so the level of achievement motivation can be understood, and thereby you create some kind of competition so that everyone will try to come to the first level. And when you form this, do this TAT, their day by day thinking level and the implemented action increases exponentially, because when one people is having an idea, there could be 5 to 10. When 52 people join together, there could be some 500 plus ideas. So their day by day level of thinking also increases, whereby our program objective, motivation, achievement motivation, how to increase it, that is achieved. And this can be done through the actions implemented in the lab, TAT lab. Then this exercise, who am I? They can identify about their weakness, strength, goals. Then you can do this exercise, APO, achievement planning exercise, or you can say boat making exercise. This helps the internalized thought process related to the need for achievement. Normally, we do this for team activity. We make them to do Eiffel Towers or bridges, some kind of things, so that they can internalize the need for achievement as a team and contribution as an individual, so that we get into a new level of idea. Same thing on the fifth one, tower building. How to help others when they are of different behavior, how to do a decision making when it is required. Then the next exercise talks about convince and crowd. Normally it is about group discussion, but we say convince and crowd. As the name says, during discussion, what we do, we convince other people, we influence other people, we try to get information grasping from the other people, and we can able to exemplify our communication skills. And you can do some creative games available in the internet, online. These games are used to remove the barriers, challenges. So it is nothing but thinking out of the box. Uh, so instead of thinking on a prototype, stereotype, let them think on different angles, right? Some games I have given. So when you begin the session, you can give them 10 plastic rings, and you can put a pole on the end of one hall. Now ask the participant to maximize the number of rings he could throw onto the pole. Give them 10, ask one person to come, let him decide the distance. Then ask him to throw. How many balls get into the pole is being measured, counted. Now, how many of you think everyone will participate? Some people will say no, no, no. Those who are interested in participating, let them decide the distance. What happens here is, a person who can be able to choose a moderate distance, not going too far, so that the task become unattainable, or a person going very short distance, so that too near. We say too near. Two cases. One is too far. A person going too far becomes unattainable of the task. The person who goes too near, he says he wants to deprive, so that he can complete the task. Now understand who is taking the too far stance and too near stance. Then you can identify, right? What you can identify? The person who can able to calculate his own distance, and he can able to throw the rings so that maximum numbers go right. Then he becomes a person with highly achievement motivation, because he has chosen the right distance, not the too far distance and too low distance. Now you can easily judge the people how they are on achievement motivation. If the person is going very short, means the meaning is he is not ready to take the risk. If the person is going too far, means he is taking too much risk, thereby he cannot achieve it. Now you as a trainer has to make them understand, calculate the distance so that you can throw, take some kind of risk. Then you have to give them the judgment, and you have to give them score. A person taking too far has to be given little high score. The person taking too low the distance, you need to give them low marks, so that people will try to take the actual correct step. Here the logical point is the person working on the number of rings around the pole, or is he working on the external constraint? Now you have to identify these two things. If you can able to identify the objective of that person, he is thinking about maximum numbers, he will be calculating on the distance. If there is no external constraint, he will be the winner. Now you need to, as a trainer, you need to make him understand why should he take the unnecessary risk by moving away from the ball. Now you need to make them understand why he took a lower risk. This subsequent activity can help the trainees understand their position far better than the other people. So it's a logical one. When you do it, you get to know it. Right. I tried this game in my last college. This is my proven result. So 17 were there. 16 were assessed to high level of achievement and 1 was low. In that 16, only 3 people have started their own ventures. They had the idea. Here I am meaning that in later year means these people wanted to do a startup business, and maybe in the later years. And the one person who was unable to do it or low on achievement, so he was again put into training, and this training was again to be conducted in the next year, and we will find out whether the person is has improved in terms of achievement motivation or not. So as we say, he has to choose the, or I have to choose the odd man now, right? So thank you. With this, we come to one full level of program. Now, after the break, we'll be going to the next level. So we'll have a 30 minutes break. Is it okay, madam? Now it is 11:11. Can we come back at 11:40? 11:40, is it okay?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
11:40, half an hour, it's good.
Okay, 11:40, is it okay? Done.
Cut short, sir.
We'll come back.
11:15, we'll start at 11:25.
11:25. Okay, I am comfortable. Okay, we'll do 11:30. We'll do
Okay.
20 minutes.
Dear
11:30
participants, we can have 10 minutes break. Please don't leave. Just wait in the program itself. It is recording. So the class will be resumed at 11:30.
Okay, 11:30.
So kindly stay in the program. Dear participants, end of the day program, we are going to end it on 5th December 2023. So on that day, all the participants has to submit their feedback. All the participants has to submit their feedback through switch on your video and submit personally one by one. Then only your name will be accepted for certificate. So minimum 5 minutes. All the participants has to present their feedback. It is compulsory by Department of Science and Technology. It's mandatory. So please be aware it and please be ready with that. If you missed it, we are not responsible. The PSP is very keen on that. It is a mandatory that each and every participant has to give their feedback through your camera should be on, and individually we will call by name. As per your attendance, they have to submit their feedback. So please make yourself present. Thank you for your kind cooperation. Sorry for the inconvenience. Within 5 to 10 minutes, the resource person will join again.
claim himself an entrepreneur. And what does it mean to be an entrepreneur? In a world of inaction, overpromising and underdelivering, every second man seems to claim himself an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone that would never call himself an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone that is happy to work while all others are out partying. An entrepreneur's drug is success. He is addicted to success. And finally, the entrepreneur knows one simple fact: I will make it, maybe not immediately, but absolutely and definitely.
You have to hustle. You have to think outside of the box to make things happen when it seems impossibly difficult for anything to happen. To continue to get up off of the canvas when you are beaten down relentlessly.
Win or learn. I never lose. I will succeed, not immediately, but absolutely and definitely. I will take action when others hesitate. I will think big when others don't. I will sacrifice when others won't. I will dare to dream of greatness when others fear it. I will outwork my competition day and night. I am the captain of my fate, the master of my soul, the boss of my dreams, the king of my goals.
You have to be a leader, to be unique, to be hungry always, and never satisfied. Proud, but never satisfied. To be followed by the competition, to take criticism and negativity and use it to build your greatness, to survive the storms and the tough moments, to be humble in the good times. It is sacrificing your today for a better tomorrow. It is living a few years of your life like others won't, so that you can spend the rest of your life like others can. That sacrifice, the dedication, the commitment, the discipline. Only rare human beings have these qualities. Only the very best among us. Then there's failure. Because we all know that it is coming, it is human nature. I mean, find me a successful human that has never failed. You can't, they don't exist. The only difference between the extremely successful among us in any field and the unknown, the only difference, the successful guy didn't give up. He found a way when there seemed to be no way. The other guy, he threw in the towel. Failure is simply learning another way not to do something. There are great lessons in failure.
When it comes to success, there is rarely ever a time when luck comes into play.
Hard work, however, always comes into play. There is no greater satisfaction in life than that of hard work paying off. No greater satisfaction than knowing you are self-made. Take action while all others are sitting on their hands. The great difference between the somebodies and the nobodies very often only comes down to who is willing to take action, who is willing to put in the work, the grind. Are you willing?
Data science and analytics are not the trends of the future. They're happening right now.
What does it mean to be an entrepreneur? I can tell you this, it is not for the faint in heart. It is only for the brave, the courageous, the calculated. Entrepreneurship is reserved for the resilient. Don't even step on the playing field if you have not counted up the cost of entrepreneurship. So there are two sides to the coin of entrepreneurship. There's heads and there's tails. And most people fail to see tails. They see heads, the face of it. They live on the surface. The lights, the cameras, the action, the yachts, the fame. But they don't see the blood, the sweat, the tears. Anybody that is willing to make the sacrifices. They stay up late, they work longer, they are more focused, pay the price, and get the job done and finish what they started. Those are the ones who will succeed. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to need to lead.
The world needs more creative, resilient, passionate, committed, focused, disruptive entrepreneurs. The last thing we need is somebody to come along with another good idea, but they don't have the passion, the perseverance, and the grit to get the job done. We don't need another person that's going to start something and quit in 6 months. Don't tell me you want to step into a room and dominate if you don't have passion. Don't tell me that you want to be a disruptive entrepreneur and you want to step into a room with a new idea and challenge and change the status quo and you don't have passion. Right now you may be in pain. Right now you may be hurting. But if you have vision, you are able to see past the pain and look into the eyes of the future. Your perspective can either become your prison or your passport. It can either arrest you or release you. In 1903, it was the Wright brothers that defied the laws of gravity. And if you know anything about gravity, gravity will pull you down and keep you down. It will stop you from flight. It will stop you in your tracks. If you believe in something, metaphorically speaking, gravity will hold you down, it will hold you back, and it will dare you to fight. Your perspective can either be your prison or your plane. I don't know about you, but today, I made the decision to defy the laws of gravity. The first successful heavier-than-air powered aircraft was designed and built by the Wright brothers. They flew it 4 times on December 17, 1903, near Kill Devil Hills, about 4 miles. I believe possibility is destiny, and it is fear that keeps us arrested and apprehended by the spirit of impossibility. I'm gonna tell you this right now, and nobody else is gonna tell you this. Impossible is a spirit, and you've got to arrest that spirit or it will arrest you. Impossibility is like a soda fountain, the easy way out, the path of least resistance, because to say something is impossible, to give up, to cop out, to fill your cup of carbonated excuses, it tastes good, but it doesn't sit well as it goes down into your system. To remove the 2 letters is the grit of existence, the binding faith of hope to your chest and letting your heart beat. You gotta rewrite the code, you gotta rewrite the script. Calling all reformers, I'm calling all innovators, I'm calling all game changers, I'm calling all world shakers, I'm calling all city shifters, I'm calling everybody that has an inkling of faith in themselves. I'm calling everybody. You will inherit the future.
If you're not where you want to be financially, if you're not where you want to be emotionally, if you're not where you want to be physically, relationally, socially, 10 times out of 10, it is because you have settled in a place called convenience. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to admit the fact that you've gotten lazy. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Some praise can be poison. It keeps you locked in a state of paralysis, and you shining trophies from the past. And that's why you always hear those people from the past like, yeah, remember back in the day when I used to do this. Remember back in the day. They're still shining the trophy of the past accomplishments. So sometimes we can receive praise like a venomous snake that injects its poisonous venom in our veins and in our heart that causes us to stay locked in a state of paralysis. And I'm still praising the work I've done. And we get full. We get real full. This is what happens when people keep telling you, you're so good, oh, you're so great, or you did so good 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago. If you continue to believe that your best work is behind you, then you will never achieve what is ahead of you. Go ask any athlete, actor, musician, philanthropist, athlete, it doesn't matter. You ask anybody who is a champion, and the difference between them and their opponent is they were more hungry for it. I don't care if you got to listen to me 1,000 times. I need you to get crystal clear about your future. Because the only reason why you are here, the only reason why you're alive is because you have work to do. And you got to figure out, why on earth are you here? What is your destiny? What is the dream that God has given you? You got to have like a shark mentality, because if a shark swims backward, it dies. A shark can only move forward. And so I need you, every single day you wake up, to smell blood and go after that dream. If there's anything I can pour from my heart, if there's anything I can give you in this moment, my greatest piece of advice is to protect your
If you want, you can start, sir. No issue.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Dear participants, we are resuming the session. The resource person is back. You can continue, sir. You can continue. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, welcome back. Is my content visible to you?
No, sir. No.
Okay. I think now it is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. We'll move on to the second topic. Welcome back, participants. I hope you would have had tea and other things. Okay. The second topic is developing the soft skill. Now I am talking on two different perspectives. One is asset trainees for me. I want to incorporate certain things. Second thing is, you as a trainer, you need to incorporate to the trainees. So you have to understand in the sense. I am teaching to you, you are my trainees. That is concept number one. Number two is, you become a trainer and the concept has been downloaded to your trainees. So then the concept is two. So you have to understand in terms of two different perspectives. Now, before getting into this topic, I wanted to share you the fact 92% of the hiring managers, they give more importance to soft skill. The remaining portion goes to the academic knowledge. I don't say it is not important. Academic knowledge is so important, but the weightage is given very little. Reason is, in any organization, you can find a complex thing going on. One is human beings with different attitudes and motives work together, and they work with a complex organizational structure like designation, like policies, like dress code, something like that. So first they work with human being. Second, they work with the complex hierarchical and I can say policies, structures. And third thing is a complex machineries. Like for example, scanner, Xerox machine, coffee vending machine, most of the complex machinery. Sometimes they work with mainframe, different softwares. So giving weightage to academic is less when compared to soft skill. That's why hiring managers look for 92% in soft skills. Now, as a trainer, you are going to download the concept to the trainees, your students, your entrepreneurs. Even if I am not going to work, I am going to sit in my home, I need these kind of soft skills. I am not going to work, I am going to look after my family business. These soft skills are required. I am going to a job, definitely soft skill is required. So this soft skill plays a major role, a vital importance in this 2023. This has been done again by another fact. The World Economic Forum didn't research in all the countries across globe. They spoke to the employers and they could ask, what is that you give priority? And most of them replied, soft skill. Soft skills, when I say there are two types. All the 82 different soft skills comes under two different categories. One is intrapersonal, that is which I need to practice, I need to learn, I need to practice, I need to develop, I need to bring out the result. That is intrapersonal soft skills. And another one is interpersonal soft skill. The skill which I need to learn, develop, and I need to show it to the others, so that the organization goes on a harmony. And you as an individual will get into work-life balance. And you as an individual will get into resilience, a peace of mind, where you work for your cause, you grow, you become successful, the company also becomes successful. If I say work-life balance, when you are in office, work for the office. When you are in home, work for the home. There should not be any overlapping so that you can reduce stress. So this is what the a broad outline on soft skill in terms of employer perspective, in terms of the hiring manager requirement. You need to train the people on soft skill. And before doing a soft skill, you need to enroll people, say example 50 to 60 people. So first thing is you need to set a goal, the purpose for the soft skill program, and the end, the result what you are expecting. So make a purpose, then do a expectation setting, ask questions from them, what is the skill they need. Now you design the program. You can add up within 2 to 3 minutes. So you can eliminate 2-3 skills. So once you do an expectation setting, first one is purpose of this program. Define the purpose. Go for the expectation. Then you can continue downloading your knowledge and making them a behavioral change. This is what this topic is all about. It's going to be at least 40-42 minutes. I hope you all are actively attending it. Then we can able to utilize it for ourselves, and you can develop this skill to the other people. Right. So you need to know what is soft skill. This is the most coveted skill, required skill sought by the hiring managers. Without this, nobody is hired. Please understand that. That is the reality. Number one, these are all transferable skills. If you are a master in one particular skill, the mastery can be downloaded, transferred to another individual so that they also become a master in that. And it is not necessarily specified to a job. These skills are required in workplace. I can say workplace. If a person knows how to manage time effectively, thereby he is productive, that skill is called workplace skill. Simple. Even he may be a sweeper, he may be a assistant manager, he may be the boss deciding the policy. No matter what is the job he is associated, this skill will make him develop. Right. Soft skills, they are around. No, it is like something like it changes your attitude, it shows your character, and it makes a turnaround in your personal relationship with each individual in the workplace. When you are a learned professional and you have learned a soft skill, your attitude will be accepted and appreciated. Then your character becomes known to everyone. You will be known for good deeds. And with this soft skill, you can build personal relationship in a much better manner as required by the workplace. These are all interpersonal attributes because it relates when I say inter, it is between two things. If you know the skill and you are able to implement the skill that is going to increase your performance, then it is called you have developed a soft skill. That skill has helped you to increase your work performance. Remember, every year the HR performs an appraisal. The appraisal is based on metrics, certain parameters. In that parameter, he is measured in terms of delivering the expected. If I am assigned a task, I can able to complete 100%, I can continue the job. If I am completing the task much better than other people, say example 110%, I will be promoted with a small salary hike. If I am able to increase my work performance and I become outstanding from all the people, say 120% I have completed what is expected out of me, I will be given a promotion with a maximum pay hike. So these soft skills help you to survive the job, perform your job on a daily basis, and make you increase your work performance. I will tell you so many skills. I have taken some the most expected and the top 5 skills here for my training purpose. And you can go to Google, you can find out lot of skills available there. These skills are easily transferable, so you can able to deliver it to your trainees so that they also become well equipped, ready for the war of job. So once they are ready for the war of job, these skills will help them to secure one particular job. Whether it is IT professional or non-IT, whatever it may be. Developing the soft skill is the criteria, and you are going to do it for the young people. The young people are quick learners, creative, so fascinated, so they are ready to accept any kind of challenge, and they are so adaptable. So once you deliver these skills to them, you become their Vishwa Guru. So such a skill is called, such a wonderful skill is soft skill. Now you should know how to develop this skill for yourself as well as to your trainees. So what are soft skills? These are abilities and attributes. These abilities and attributes help them to work with other people. Very simple. If I know if I am good in communication, communicational skills, I can be effective worker along with other people. Meaning is I can understand what other people are telling, or I can make them understand easily. If I have that capacity, communicational skills, this ability will help me to work with all the other people effectively. Right. These soft skills are intangible and subjective. Sometimes when we say tangible, we try to say it can be bended, it can be moved, but these skills often feel they are so intangible. It is not like that. It is not like that. It can be improved upon time. It can be improved upon time. If I do not know any skill, so I am intangible. If I can learn it and improve it upon some time, it becomes tangible. And moreover, every skill is particularly special in terms of one particular subject. For example, negotiation skill. It's a sub-branch of communication skill. Conflict management skill. It is again a part of a communication skill. If I am a good communicator, plus if I know how to ask right question, plus if I know if I have something imaginative, creative thinking, I can do this conflict management, resolve this conflict management, I can be the #1 person. So there are some skills which are associated to the primary one, but still they are marked, they are treated as a different skill. These skills are expected by the companies. Now you need to understand it. They are mostly subjective and they are felt like intangible, but it is not the true. They can be learned and improved upon time. And it can be taught through a classroom. It can be taught through a one-to-one session also. Right. So every industrial level people, professional people, they are given chance based on their academic knowledge plus soft skill level. So entry level, the academics comes to a lower percentage and soft skill remains the highest percentage. Please understand this fact. Right. For example, when you ask me to give an example of a soft skill, I can give a top 5 essential skills every professional needs. It could be anywhere: banking employee, a service-oriented employee, a direct marketing employee, a sales guy, whoever. Show me anyone. These professional people will need, even a lawyer, even a doctor, a chartered accountant. Everyone will need this 5 essential soft skills that we'll discuss one by one. Number 1 remains communication. You all know human evaluation. We started from long back. I don't. There are different years. They say we started long back, and we were using sign languages. Then the communication, oral communication, started developing, and now the major portion of the world communicates through orally. So let us understand why communication skill is more important. Even though it is complex and it is one avenue of life, but communication plays an important role. So as a trainer and as a trainee, they should master communication. It is the one thing to know what is right or know what to do. This second sentence is about the importance of the communication. If you know how to communicate what is right, and if you know what to do, you will communicate correctly. So communicate to the people, right people at the right time is what is called as communicational skills. If you can able to develop strong communicational skill, both verbally, right now I'm doing it, everyone performs that, and also in writing. Because in modern day workplace, the communication happens either through writing via email, a kind of company social media platform, or some social media platforms. When I say public, Facebook, X, LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn, those things. So they communicate with other people through writing. If you can master both verbal communication and the written communication, which is more required in the modern workplace, you are through. So whenever you start the class, go with the communication class. Communication, they will say we know communication, but it is not the case. So you can start with the communication skill. You can talk about three things. One is, if you want, you can take down the note of this. One is, you need to teach them what is the goal of communication. Because the communication does not happen in void. Communication happens with a purpose or a goal. Now I am communicating with you. The intention is to make you understand what is soft skill, for top 5 skills, then what is the importance, how to develop it in your trainees. So now I am communicating with you with a purpose, and there is a goal behind me. So communication happens for certain reason. So please understand, it does not happen in void. So first step is make them understand what is the purpose of communication. Then you can talk about the goal of, mode of communication. Now we have chosen the online mode because our demography has spread across other states, other language people. Now we have chosen the platform, online platform. If I am communicating with a person sitting opposite to me, I'll go orally. The person is, I want to talk to a person who is not having this kind of platforms, but he's having a WhatsApp. I can go for a WhatsApp voice call. I can go for a video call. So first is, you have to set the goal of communication. Then you have to set the mode of communication, or you want to make it a record. You are asking for 2 days holiday, 2 days leave. You can write a letter, email. Letter is one written communication. Email is something like that. Because once you write an email, it becomes an authenticated communication method. Plus, you can have a record of it, and it becomes an official record, and you get a reply from the immediate manager approving your leave. So it becomes your record. There are multiple things you need to understand it. So first in communication is set the goal of communication or the purpose. Second one, ask them to choose the correct mode of communication. Third one, very simple but very effective, very important. The context or the subject what we are going to talk about is to be clarified. So first you need to clarify with your mind. Suppose if I want to explain you about communication, now my background process is like this. My mind gives me some point. First, initially the thoughts comes in my mind. Now I take the thoughts, that is number one. Number two, I try to evaluate whether this is right or wrong. What is the consequence? So once you have your thoughts are ready, evaluate every thought. Now you need to respond. Tell to the people. If there is an opposition, meaning is that point is not validated. You go wrong. So you need to work on three things: goal and the purpose, mode of communication. Third one is there should be a process which should happen in the mindset. Mind, thoughts. Second point is evaluate. Then third is respond. So all put together is called context. The subject what you are going to talk about. So if you have done these three things, you are one step ahead. So communication skill plays a major role. Please understand it. And when I talk about communication, there are some, this is a intrapersonal skill, which I need to develop for me. You need to develop for yourself. And if I want to deliver, I need to develop my communication so that it becomes a meaningful sentence and everyone can understand this. Right. When I talk about communication skill, know your audience. If the audience are new learners, so go slowly, avoid technical jargons, technical words, try to communicate in a simple and easier manner. Once they have understood the context, start working on with the technical words. Then you can go with your own speed. So please work on with the simple language if the audience are new learners. If the audience are already knowledgeable, don't try to grind the old things. Start from where you want to start and go with the deviation or with the direction what you want to achieve. Use technical words, make them do whatever you want, because they are knowledgeable. They know something about the topic, right? If the audience are strangers, so think twice before you deliver the communication. Think twice, re-evaluate your thoughts. Is there any question? I get some. Is there any question? I had a noise. I just wanted to ask. Is there any question to anyone? Okay. I'll continue. So now we talk about communication. That is the number one skill which is expected. The reason being, communication is something that binds us into a relationship. We human beings work in an organization having different attitudes, complex behaviors, but we work for one particular company. The meaning is we try to develop or build a rapport. To build a rapport, communication comes into play. So please put in a lot of effort so that this communication skill is being given to them with a strong and the ideology behind it. So this is the number one skill which I wanted to tell you. Closely related to communication, this is interpersonal, as I told you. You need to relate to other people, build relations with them, build rapport with them, so that with the communication, you can able to win discussion. Because in every office, there will be a discussion going on, and you as an individual, with this communication skill, you are supposed to win. Not everything. I'm not saying that. With good communication, your arguments, your thoughts gets appreciated, right? Or sometimes you can use this communication to convince other people, or the person might have convinced you to agree. Anyway, both the ways, your communication and this communication gets a win-win situation. Our idea is to make this communication skill number one skill for the trainees so that they can win any place. You can give lot of examples, people, personalities who have won based on the communication skill, right? Sometimes the third point is there are people who are born with strong skills, interpersonal skills, but this communication can be learned and it can be practiced and it can be improved. So you have to help them to improve their communication. So that is the idea behind it. And second topic is emotional intelligence. This is the second required skill by the HR of any company, any employer. The reason is, if you are emotionally intelligent, you know how to manage your emotions. For example, if I say I'm in an angry mood, some of my colleague comes to me and they want to have some discussion. Do you think I will answer them properly? No, because I am held up with the emotion that hurts me. So the communication which comes out of my mouth will be different. If you know how to handle the emotions, or if you know how to feel the other person's feeling, or you can able to perceive their emotions, now you become emotionally intelligent. Because this is the skill, a starting point where the problem starts. This is the place when you can't control the emotions, people start wading away from you. They never want to come to you. They don't come to you. They don't ask your help. They don't treat you equally. If a person doesn't know how to manage his emotions, then what is the purpose of working in an environment where so many human beings are working? So please use this second skill, make them understand how to maintain a composure in workplace or in any place when they are emotionally hurt. Otherwise, they become weird and people become difficult. You cannot manage relationship. So emotional intelligence is a different or an important place in workplace. And third point, it talks about if you are emotionally highly intelligent, you can identify when other people are stressed out or they are frustrated. You can go to them, have a compact, you can make them a friendship, you can give them a small kind of solutions, or you can tell them I can understand their feeling. Sorry, you can understand their feelings, and you can tell on your example how you got affected same way and how you overcame that situation through your emotional intelligence. Because whenever you train them, try to give them the personal experiences where you are hurt, and you can able to understand the other feelings also. So we say normally we say empathetic skills, feeling other persons, or we can say thinking in terms of others. That we call it as empathy skills. I'm not talking about empathy here. I'm just talking about a situation where with your emotional intelligence, you can able to identify a person who is frustrated, who is stressed out. Now your job is to take some steps to combat him or to console him, and you have to describe him how to manage emotional intelligence based on your experience. So your experience becomes an talking point. Now he understands the core of that outcome. Now he can try to incorporate, cultivate, and he can use it. If a person is emotionally not intelligent, the HR will definitely hire it. You have to understand that. The third skill which is most required is teamwork. When I say teamwork, here I talk about the ability to work well with others. You need to work with the other people. You may have different goal. You may have different motive. But if you have the skill, the ability to work with other people, then individually successful, plus you can also make the team successful. Here, when I say teamwork, you should be the most liked one. Otherwise, if you develop a dislike, then you can never be into the team. To make them like, what you have to do is you have to serve as a valuable person, and you need to deliver your knowledge, share your knowledge, so that everyone gets better. We call it as collaborative exchange of ideas. Don't think individual after sharing the idea will be removed. That's not the case. Individually, I need to get success, number one. Number two, I need to share my experience and knowledge, then make the team win, so that everyone likes me and I become a inseparable person. Then I can say I've learned the teamwork skills. Here you need to work, understand the common pitfall, the challenges for not being into a team. Sometimes people do not participate. They are like, solo, standalone. They will do their work. They will roam free. They will be alone. They will perform their task. That's not a problem issue. But when you are in a team working for a common cause or a goal, you need to participate. Here the participate in the sense is you need to understand everyone's feelings. You should have emotional intelligence. You should develop empathy. You should have a good communication skill. You should be ready to accept any kind of challenge, and you should be able to move around in the team. Otherwise, you are not into the team. A solo individual cannot become a team member. So teamwork is very well appreciated. For teamwork, I can say 2-3 skills also required. Other than this, one is if you want to be in a team, you should be a creative thinker. So when you are a creative thinking person, that we'll discuss little later. When you are having creative thinking, you can share more knowledge to the team. Thereby, you become a inseparable member, and you have to remove your fear and shyness so that you also become participating. Then you should serve for the purpose. With your work, you should serve a valuable purpose. Then you can become a team worker. And you need to have a collaborative skills. When I say collaborative skills, I'm talking about sharing of knowledge. When I say individual success, I'm talking about your personal motive, goal, etc. And emotional intelligence. So teamwork is again an intrapersonal skill that is required. Every company employs people who can adapt. That's the next point. If you are able to adapt, adjust with the other people, then you are called as a team worker. Right. So I told you about adaptability. So here what we are going to mean is companies might go on with a plan, but there might be a immediate change of plan. For example, you have been to the office for the last 2 years. On the third year, the company announces we are going to move to 35 kilometers away from there. And from your house, it is going to be 50 kilometers. Will you accept it? The first thing what you do is you do a resistance. The resistance comes from your mind. It says the travel time is more, distance is more, and you fear on one thing, that can you be able to go to the office on time? Okay, if some days due to natural situation, maybe a rain, maybe fog, you are the work gets very delayed, you have to return in the late night. What happens? You think everything, and completely putting all unanswered questions, now you become resistant. So resistance becomes the opposite of adaptability. If you know how to handle the resistance, or you can have, if you have any different roles, then it is said to be you are adaptable. Or I can extend this to something called as change management skill. We have a skill called change management skill. For example, if the process is practiced for more than 10 years and suddenly the managing director says we are going for the new process. So adapting to the new process becomes a problem. So what they do is they follow a policy called ADKAR, ADKAR. So first thing what they do is they make awareness program. Okay, on accepting the new process, what is going to benefit, how it is going to benefit the individual. So once you make the awareness, then the people will slowly reduce their resistance. Right? So there's a process. So you need to have an adaptability sense. Unless and until the trainees are adapted, it becomes a difficult task. Because you are looking for unanswered questions. There are questions, but you are looking for unanswered. You need to find an answer. So without finding an answer, how can you say adaptability is possible? So just find an answer for it. Right. So if a person is highly adaptable, what is the benefit? He can get into roles easily. He can adjust to whatever situation, but he remains in his job because he loves the job, not the situation. So adaptability is one such skill. This has been expected from the youngsters, the freshers, because they are all very young. So they are easily tameable and they are ready to move places to places. But if I have a family, say kids are studying, it is difficult to adapt to the changes. But we try to inculcate this adaptability skills because it is much more required. Nowadays, offices are getting changed. Maybe after 5G launch or 6G launch, I do not know how many people will be in the office. Mostly they will be working from home. I'm talking about the IT people. So if that is the situation, they have to adapt. The best example I can say is pandemic. Take me as an example. I never sit for 2-3 hours in my home. I keep moving places. But that pandemic made me sit in the house for 1.5 years. So we try to adapt the situation. So this skill is much more needed in the workplace. So at advanced level, adaptability goes beyond just responding appropriately. Here the idea behind what I'm, the statement here is, with your advanced skills, or I can say the future seeing ability, you can foresee the changes which is going to happen in the company, and you can proactively figure out some plan, some kind of map, and you can plan your adjustments, or you can make some new adjustments, and you can able to make an adaptability. So if I have some information that company is moving from Bangalore to Mysuru, I can move my family to Mysuru. I can put my people, sons and daughters for education. So when I can able to foresee the changes going to happen, I can proactively map it. So for being adaptable, you need to have proactive mindset, open mindset, ready to accept any situation, and staying calm and cool. That's why I told you work-life balance. If you have work-life balance in your mindset, doing the doing the work fully, not worrying about the personal life. Doing at home, worry about the personal life, don't worry about the office. That means giving 100% effort for the official work. So now you need to have a proactive map. Then you need to carry out certain adjustments. Then you can become a adaptable employee. This skill is much more needed. And with this, we come to conclusion of the top 5 skills needed by the company. Right. So we will discuss with the any questions you can put in. Anyone, any questions? Because I think I am just talking to you on my own. Any questions? You can put it in chat. Okay. Let me continue that. Okay, now the question I'm going to answer the question is, why do you need a soft skill? If you want to get success in modern business, you need to have a soft skill. Even though you need some mathematical ability, you need some computer skills, you need to have some business skills, some techniques. But even then, hard skills are just a certificate or a requirement so that you can choose your domain. If I am a graduate in mathematics, I can land on the domain called mathematician. Very simple. If my domain is computer science, my job land is, or I can say, I will land on the job where computers are the primary systems where I'm going to employ. If I want to say business is my land of job, that's my segment. You can go anywhere, you can do a startup, you can join the company, learn the business, you can start your own. So it should be an essential part, but these are just a requirement. Only a soft skill will decide whether you are in or you are out. Right. So if you want to segment yourself, you can talk to the trainees, you can understand with them, you can ask them what is the domain they want to work. Based on the domain, you can give them the soft skill and make their resumes very strong. For example, in resume we write objective statement. There we write the strength of each and every individual. Sometimes learning quickly, I can manage conflict. I am good in management conflict, managing conflict. So these are all things which tells the HR that this person is strong on this particular skill. He is strong on that strength. So when we write the objective statement, you can also mention the domain where you want to work. I want to join a reputed IT company whereby I want to grow and contribute my knowledge. So whenever you write this, the soft skill becomes the turning point in the resume, right? If the HR evaluates your soft skills that you have learned, he may try to place you in position. Otherwise, it will become difficult. So soft skills helps the HR to evaluate the person during the interview process. During the interview process, he will try to evaluate what are all the skills he is good at. Very simple. And because that has been exhibited in the resume. So when you make the resume for each trainee, you need to identify the domain, make them do the SWOT analysis, bring that to strength and the domain along with the skill he is very good at, so that if the reading objective becomes so interesting, thereby the HR will evaluate that particular skill from that person. If I say I am a good negotiator, now HR's question will be only on negotiation. He won't go beyond that. So you need to work on soft skill. You need to tell them the importance why they need soft skill. Then only they will come to the class. I have been to many colleges, Andhra, Karnataka, Kerala. Whenever there is a soft skill training, the people try to escape. They say these are all I know, but it is not the case. When it is a technical skill, everyone will be there. I've seen it. In my last class, I've seen it. In technical skills, 60 people are present. But when I was taking the soft skill, it was 39, 40, 42, that's all. I was there taking another batch. So I went to the classroom and asked them what is the reason that why you think you don't need a soft skill. Then they said, sir, it has been taught us last year. First year also they did the same thing. Now we are in the third year. We want only technical skills to be learned so that we get employment. Then I told them, I took 1 hour permission from the technical trainer and I told them this is what is expected. So please, whenever you train people, you have to tell them why they need soft skills. Because it is going to help in 2 places. Is to build a strong resume. Second one is it is going to help the HR evaluate soft skill ability, and he can match the designation accordingly. Otherwise, if you are not able to sell, the candidate is not able to sell himself, then he is out of the job. Because for one job, there are 1,000 people roaming. You need to understand it. Even the hospitals are conducting soft skills. You might have heard a company called Dr. Reddy's. They give behavioral training to nurses, pharmacists, anesthesia doctors. The reason is, without the soft skills, it is very difficult for them to succeed. So please make them focused. Right. So another point is, if you want to be successful in the chosen career, your segment, and you need certain soft skills. If without soft skill, you cannot survive. You cannot survive means continue the job, or you cannot get the promotions. Here, promotion in the sense excel in the life, go to the next level. So you need to make them understand why they need soft skills. Some more examples I have given here. Sorry, it is going fast. Sorry. I clicked many times. Dependability is again another soft skill. It means a person is reliable, he is ready to meet deadline, and he is trustworthy. If I say something to him, it will be clear. So I look upon dependability skills from the individuals. Then we talk about initiative. Initiative in the sense here, he has to show with an example that he is a self-starter. Even in group discussion, I try to tell people, whenever there is a group discussion, be an initiator. Start the process. Then at least try to at least all the participants has to present one point. Because when a person is initiative, he becomes a self-starter. He is more resourceful because he has to start. He performs one step ahead. And if the person is initiative, he knows the methodology on how to develop ideas, how to work with in units, in group of people, and he is ready to explain what is there to the training people. So it's a kind of opportunity. It's again a skill. Teamwork, I have already told you. Critical thinking, a careful thinking directed to a goal. What is needed? If I can able to think in terms of what is needed, I can carefully work on. I can strategize my plan so that it becomes easier. And we talk about professionalism. These are all things you know. If a person's attitude is good, whether he is knowledge or not knowledgeable, we are ready to give the job. If the person is very studious, neat, clean, he has excellent academic records, attendance. So these things has to be taught to them. Tell them why it is important. Now we'll talk about ways to improve the soft skill. So how to improve it? This skill, this slide is self-explanatory. It talks about it increases soft skill, increases the overall effectiveness in terms of personal life as well as business life. It talks about both the things. So we'll discuss 10 strategies. With this, I think we are coming to the end of the session. So one, the first strategy is to prioritize which skills to develop. If you are an individual, you have to think in terms of yourself. If you want to develop to the students, trainees, you have to ask them to write it, then you have to do it. So prioritize. Number one, what is needed? If I am not good in managing time, so time management is needed. I can think, I can evaluate, but I am not able to respond. Now think about communication skill. I am good in communicating, but when it comes to writing, I am not good. So work on writing communication skill. I am good in developing relationship. I am good in story creating. So try to give them story writing skill. Because storytelling is an important skill that needs to be developed. Even a single bath soap has a story. Why not individual? So try to develop a story for each one, a unique story. So now first step is prioritize which skill they have to develop. Now once they do strength and weakness analysis, they know what is the skill they are good at. They will tell you what is the skill they are not good. And that means they are not aware. Now you need to compare the list. Then you have to tell them this skill is needed. The additional skill. That's all. So first step is this one. Second one is ask for the feedback. So thing is very simple. We are not the best judges. If it comes to me, I cannot think about anything else. But other people, when you ask them to give feedback on other people, they are immediate. So if you want to develop the skill, make them ask for the feedback. Let them ask feedback to everyone. If they get the feedback, they will start formulating their own list. Okay, now I think I have improved. Improved 1%. I need to go 99. After 1 week, he will go and ask the question. Give me feedback. Do you see any possible changes in my behavior? Then with the constructive feedback, they try to improvise. So asking other people can, one major benefit is here. That is, when you ask feedback from others, you can identify your blind spot. Otherwise, you will think it is right. In their point of view, others' point of view, it is wrong. So feedback reveals our blind spots. So ask for the feedbacks. And you can ask for valuable insights. Sometimes they may know very good. In the sense, they may know what if I do it right. So they can give you some valuable tips so that can be utilized and it can be used. Third thing. So if you want to develop soft skill, make the students to come out of the comfort zone. See, when I say comfort zone, everything is available to them without asking. That is comfort zone. So make them come from the comfort zone to the learning zone. Why I say this is because their comfort zone, they get all their luxuries, their needs, because it is supplied by them. So when they come out of the comfort zone to the learning zone. Now there is a gap.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Dear participants, sorry for the inconvenience caused by us. The resource person is trying to reconnect network issues. Thank you for your patience. Thank you so much. Kindly be patient. The resource person is reconnecting. If there's some technical issues, he couldn't be able to connect. His trying his best. Yes, sir. No audio. Sir, no audio. Oh, clear, yeah. I say that. Adjust
சரி போட்டோட கதையை க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிடுற மீட்டிங். அவர் ஆழ்ந்த அளவில் எவ்வளவு நட்டி
Dear participants, sorry for the inconvenience. There is some technical issue with the resource person. He couldn't be able to explore his problem. So he is trying to rejoin again. Kindly cooperate with us. Thanks for your cooperation. Dear participants, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sorry for the inconvenience. There are some issues with the resource person. We is trying this level just to reconnect. Thanks for your kind cooperation. Yes, sir, we are not able to hear you.
அது லெமன் சாப்பிடுது இது புளி சாப்பிடுது வாழைக்காய் இருக்கு சொல்லுங்க
அவரும் என்னென்னமோ பண்ணி பாக்குறாரு
சார் அவர்கிட்ட சொல்லி மீட்டிங் டிஸ்கனெக்ட்
Subir sir, we are not able to hear you. That's all. Just log out and log in again. You try. Dear participants, sorry for the inconvenience. The resource person is staying again. Is rejoining. Yes, sir. Sir, no audio.
Just working, sir. One second.
Just now, sir, we are able to hear you. Yeah, go ahead, sir. We are able to hear you.
1 minute, sir. Right, sir. I have there was a connection in my Bluetooth. Now it is okay, sir.
Now you can carry on. Now you can carry on.
I'll continue.
Yeah, another 15 minutes is there. You can carry on. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Just another 10 minutes more. I'll do that.
Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes you can carry on, sir. No issue.
Okay, I was talking about this. Let me go back little 1 or 2 slides. I think there is a disconnect. I'll go with the 2 slides. One minute. Okay, I was talking about 10 strategies to improve soft skill. Whenever you teach soft skill in the classroom, you can use these 10 strategies. Number 1 being prioritize which skill is to develop. So do a need analysis based on their strength and weakness. That weakness skill has to be prioritized and they have to be given training on them. Give them some time. Then create a structured program so that they improve their soft skill, so that they get good career path. Second strategy is work out on asking the feedbacks, because we cannot find our own blind spots. Instead, if asking feedbacks from others, we can able to get the ideas, suggestions, because we are not our best judges. So people outside can be able to see our dark side. They will give a proper constructive feedback. Based on this, a valuable insight, and here and there could be a corrections. Based on the corrections, the soft skill can be improved. So third one is make the trainees step out of their comfort zone. When I say comfort zone, they get everything inside. Their parents do support it. So they never come to the learning zone. As a trainer, you need to give a handhold, give them confidence, make them sit with the close friends, have some idea, understand what is the fear, try to resolve one by one, form a group of people so that this guy also comes out of the comfort zone and he is ready to take up or develop the soft skill. For this, you need little pressure. The pressure in the sense, you need to do a course correction, a change in direction. Next is self-reflection. Here, everyone has to intentionally take it. Last week, I studied this skill. Is there any improvement? After 1 week, they need to identify, is there any skill improvement? So once they are ready to observe their self-reflection throughout the day, throughout the week, then they can change the pattern in which they are currently going. Maybe it's a wrong way. They can do a course correction, come back, and thereby they develop a soft skill which is required by the company. Next one is to develop any soft skill. There are so many online courses available that improves a specific topic. You can improve on specific skills. So as a trainer, you need to encourage them, stick to reputable sources. For example, Dale Carney, some companies where the content quality is good, and there are some universities at present like Yale University, Cambridge, they have come up with a lot of soft skill courses. There are some forums, they also do soft skill development. So you have to, as a trainer, guide them to stick on to the reputable sources, and where there is a good direction is being given. Just go through the courses, understand how it works, then please refer to the trainees so that you can develop their soft skills. After communication, the next important thing is you have to make them actively listen. In the sense, if a person is listening, we normally say that people listen to answer, not to respond. So now you need to practice them so that they can able to listen actively, get the in and out meaning of the communication, take only which is required for them, so that they become more active listeners and they become less communicators. Once they are good in listening, active listening, they can communicate short and to the point. So make a practice, ask them to review, ask them to communicate with you. You also do active listening, and you have to formulate a proper response so that they also can develop in the future. Next strategy is improve the writing skills, because in this modern connected world, writing becomes more important. Maybe office settings, it can be in professional life, personal life. They talk about email writing, and sometimes they need to write about agendas about meeting. Then after the meeting is over, they have to write minutes of meeting, and they have to work out on chat messages, because these are all things they need to communicate. Even if the word is misspelled or misunderstood, the entire meaning becomes waste. So ask them to improve their writing skills, and because you know their weakness area, now you need to give them the constructive feedbacks so that they can also work out on it. And you need to work on online reliable sources that helps them to improve their writing skill. Or you can put them into a group, make them into a group, give a task, let them write for one page, let them exchange and do a correction. Then you as a trainer can intervene and try to figure out. Here what you do is indirectly you try to build their vocabulary. First point. Second point, indirectly you try to you try to make them follow grammatical rules. When speaking comes to matter, communication, no grammar is needed. When something is being written, you need to understand grammar is more important. And writing skills is required both at hard skills as well as soft skills. So their hard skill academic excellence again can be continued in this one, so that they become a good content writer and they can work in the workplace very purposefully, meaningfully. This is, I think it's very, it's not fully visible, but I'll tell you the points. So to develop a soft skill, make them take a leadership role. In each training, let one person be a leader. The leader has to step into the position. He has to take care of one step, even a small one. Then assign them with the authority, and everybody has to respond, and they have to obey his orders. Thereby, you naturally make them grow, or you give them opportunity to grow as a leader. And this chance gives them to overcome the hurdles, because practice makes man perfect. So whenever I say practice, here, if you offer a chance, give them the direction, they will definitely become the leaders. So leadership is again one more thing you need to try upon during developing skills. Then you need to communicate with them very often, because after training you don't talk to them, then they are tend to forget. So now you need to become a more often frequent communicator, and you have to realize what is true, and you have to understand whether they are comfortable in communicating with you, or they are ready to communicate with you whenever you call them next time. The reason is communication acts like a muscle in the body, and the more strong, the more you are. So try to develop this communication very often. At least we say continuous learning program. So once the training is over, post assessment is over, we try to ask questions, give them some kind of quiz. We keep in touch with them so that they are very comfortable and they are ready to communicate with you next time. Otherwise, they will say the program is not good. We don't have any connect with the communicator, because rapport is again a soft skill. So please understand that and work on critical thinking skills. So the ability to find himself, or the ability to find what it is, that is what is critical thinking. Or I can say putting in terms of, or thinking out of the box, or looking at it in different perspective is called critical thinking. This helps them for self improvement. And after this critical thinking is being rolled out, ask them to get the feedbacks. It can be directly or indirectly, through either through written communication or oral communication. Now take all the feedbacks, rework on critical thinking, so that in the next time they act carefully before reacting. Critical thinking helps us to it's again a soft skill. It helps us to improve your communication, improve your decision making skill, and improves your relation building skill. So before trying to communicate, I told you about this thing, communication. So think, evaluate, respond. So critical thinking comes to the first step. Once you are ready to, or you have the ability to think about that particular issue, you will get more options. So with that more options, you can reflect on your communication or reflect on your decision making skills. So activities to improve soft skills. Why activity? See, there is something. Now I am doing online. You all know what is that. I am the only person talking to you. If this happens in the training room, you become so bored. So what you do is you make them do some kind of activity. See, there is a saying, if you teach me, I will try to forget. But if you involve me, I will get to know it. So what I am trying to say is, for each skill, start with the story, start with some there are 7 type of starters. You can look at it in Google. Start with any one type, impart some knowledge, then make them do some activity. After the activity is over, ask them to teach back what is that they learned. So when you involve them, they become so admired. So activity plays a major part. When the people are not energetic, so what you have to do is do an energizer. There are plenty of resources available in the internet. So make use of them and do some energizer in the breaks, after the breaks, after lunch, do activities, because these helps them to relate the situation and the reality, right? It can be paper, pen, paste activity. It can be a quiz type of activity. It can be an activity with a lot of equipments like ball. It can be like use of, there are some tools available. For example, you want to make them do a critical thinking, tell them scenario based story. So these are all many things you need to do it. Otherwise, the soft skill program becomes more boring, right? It also gives the people opportunity to practice the new skills they have learned. So when you do an activity, they involve. One more thing is role play. You can make them do role play, or you can ask them to form a team of people, give them some different tasks, let them do it. That time you become a facilitator, don't be a trainer, right? With this, I come to a conclusion. Activities I have already told you. Teamwork, you can do an activity. Adaptability, you can do this activity. Shrinking visual activity. Put a rope, make 10-15 people stand. Everyone, now we have to shrink that rope so that everyone gets accommodated within that situation. So you can buy a rope, use it. For teamwork, you can take newspapers, scissors, tapes. You can ask them to build something, or you can use PVC pipes, cut it into some 1 feet length, give them 10 pieces, ask them to stand in a line, drop a ball. The ball should not go to the ground. What they have to do is they have to continuously circulate it within them. So you can do a lot of things. You can give hula hoop and make use of them. You can do a lot of activities. The primary focus of activity is to make the people encourage involvement of activity, engage so that they become a participant, and you make them empower. So encourage, engage, and make them empower. Then you as a trainer or any entrepreneurs, you become highly successful. So thank you. Any questions you can ask me. Any questions you can ask me. I am done.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Saravanan.
Good afternoon, sir. Saravanan, sir.
Is there emotional intelligence is very important for entrepreneurs, sir?
Sir. Yes, sir. It is definitely important, because if they do not know how to control the emotions, they cannot go beyond one point, so that they cannot able to think it.
So critical thinking plays a very vital role, because all these qualities what you have enlightened in this critical thinking is mandatory. Apart from that, emotional intelligence, it is a part of entrepreneur, isn't it, sir? Correct. No?
Definitely, sir. See, as an entrepreneur, our aim is to get success. For getting success, you need to work out a way, or you need to think in terms of differently, so that you are one step ahead of the competitor. That's all. So for which critical thinking becomes a important perspective. On the other side, if you have emotional intelligence, know how to control your emotions, you can use that to think more critically in terms of others have not worked upon. So it becomes hand in hand.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Saravanan, sir. Any other questions? Any other questions from the participants?
Okay, thank you.
Can you clarify your doubts?
Yeah, you can clarify there, or you can send me in my mobile number also. Mobile number is with Niranjani madam.
We will post it in the last date, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Last day we post all the resource person details. So don't worry.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So thank you so much. I want to thank Dr. R. Niranjani madam, Anbolil sir. Last time also he hosted the program very well. And I want to thank all the participants for listening to me for more than 2.5 hours, 3 hours. I hope I would have given some or 50% of the insights. If any queries, you can reach me out in my mobile number. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your excellent
Thank you.
presentation and informative for the
Thank
past 3.5 hours.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We will look forward.
Sure. Sure. Sir.
Any other queries from the participants? Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. You can leave.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Dear participants.